out by my front door, and I'm miles and miles from the nearest store. Pot full of crabs looking fat and sweet.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About on WGMD's 98.5, the Talk of Delmarva. Here we are again, another weekend with you guys.
Biff, I notice you don't have a tan yet. Is there a reason why your white face hasn't turned to brown tan being in Florida for so long?
Because I have a light literally 2.5 feet from my face. If I got back, you'd see me. I'm a little bit darker there if I do that. I have gotten some sun.
Okay.
I wouldn't even start about my thoughts about sunscreen, but we'll just save that for another day. Maybe a rainy day instead of a sunny day.
Hey, is it cold? Is it cold?
It's about 65 degrees right now. I think
you're wearing a lot of clothes for 65.
Well, because when the sun goes down, it gets a little chillier around.
Okay.
Here. So I thought it'd be. I'm actually outside on a porch doing this. So I'm truly remote.
Maybe you could drape a blanket over your shoulders for the.
I have a lap blanket on. I I got fuzzy slippers.
Nice.
The two of the three of us are about to reunite.
We are
for a weekend. I'm making my way down to Florida in a day or two, so to reunite with Biff. So I'll
be here working if you guys need me.
Okay,
Mr. Fun, thank you for working so
hard.
Trying
to make the U.S. economy great again.
You are. Pay everybody Social Security. That's good. keep the funding going.
You guys enjoy it.
That's good. Anyways, Rockfish let us in again with Chesapeake Time. Had a lot of good feedback from the interview last weekend with Rockfish and his joke telling, which was a good joke about the dog and the dog with money. Which it was a good joke. So it was great to hear him. And I actually was walking around St. Augustine, Florida this week, and I had a lyric come to mind, so I sent it to him. Let's see if it makes it into a song.
Whoa,
on something. So
wow,
it was a play on the word the song "Friends in Low Places."
Okay,
Garth Brooks song. So we'll see. Anyways, I sent that to him. Last week I mentioned the fact that I took Scotty's. Again, probably illegal contraband in the state of Florida since they don't sell it here, down to Rockfish. And I missed this past weekend. You guys had something with Scotty had a birthday of some
He had
sort.
a big birthday bash in Frederick, Maryland that Mr. Fun and I ventured up to. It was an epic, a guy like Scotty with the persona that he has and all the friends he has, of course, because he's so generous with his vodka. It was like, exclusive guest list. It was pretty good event. And we were glad to be invited.
Yeah, I can't wait till we have our first live kind of radio event, wherever that might be, and probably in the beach towards the warmer months. The Scotty decals, he's got some of the best decals, and the things that he has with the Maryland flag and the logo and things, and great T-shirts and other swag, much like ours. We'll have our own Laugh Smartly stuff, but it's really great stuff. And again, more credit and power to Scotty and lady friend Jen. For doing what they do.
I actually love the idea that he had a picture of himself in the cake. You can make a picture into like icing or whatever. It was great.
Yeah,
that's a picture on his cake.
That's awesome.
Happy 60th birthday.
I heard an amazing Scotty stat recently.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there are 600 craft distillers in the United States.
Uh-huh.
And he's in the top 40.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That's terrific. I know in the vodka world, he's in the top 2 or 3, depending on wherever he's being sold, which is great. So that's very happy for him. So speaking of happy, Mr. Fun.
Yeah.
No show starts without a joke from you. Do you have one to get us going?
So this weekend after Scotty's, I crawled into bed and, I tried to get a little bit frisky and I heard, stay away from me. You're far too drunk. And I was like, how do you know I'm too drunk? And she said, because I'm your neighbor. You live next door.
Ouch. That would be awkward.
Yeah, we just as we move forward to the radio show, we're going to have to get Mr. Fun to remind us of some of his stories of maybe some slight drinking escapades of things in his neighborhood. So,
are you saying that's not a joke? That's actually something that really happened to him?
May have happened a couple of times.
Yeah.
Hey, can I say this? I didn't tell you guys about prepped you guys for this, but listen, my dogs are with I know this is serious, but with our military, you know, over there in Iran, I hope everybody stays safe, and I hope this isn't a long war that takes a lot of lives. I have a joke. Is it too early for a joke
about the Iran war?
Yeah. You know why there's no Walmarts in Iran? Because there's so many Targets.
Oh,
no.
I thought you said your dogs were going to sign up to go to the war.
Yeah,
your dogs.
Your dogs. They're going to become, military service dogs.
You can only hope.
So excellent. So Lucky, we have a theme of the national days, and what sort of days are we looking at this weekend?
Yeah, well, everybody needs to know what so they know what to celebrate. But yeah, it's National Be Heard Day. I think we talked about that last week. Basically, it's a campaign to support small businesses. So we should all be supporting small businesses. I think there's like a National Restaurant Week event coming up in the Ocean City in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, but we should all be supporting small businesses.
Speaking of which, you mentioned last weekend there was a wings contest.
Yes,
secrets. Do you have any?
What is that?
No, it was last weekend.
It was last weekend, and I was trying to find online who were the winners of all the different categories, but I did find out that Papa Grande was one of the top winners in the category, and I hadn't had their wings. They're
one of my favorite restaurants. Papa Grande's Fenwick Island, so just over the border from Maryland. I think their Mexican food's great. I've gone there with friends that have had wings there. They think they're excellent, they're apparently known for them. So, anyways, more power to them.
It is also National Employee Appreciation Day. And I don't know if this counts as employees, but we now have a social media, someone who owns social media for us now.
Yeah.
Mrs. Fun.
Mrs. Fun is
I would say happy National Employee Appreciation Day, Mrs. Fun. If you're listening, I'm sure you are. Thank you for all you're doing for us.
Wait, don't you have to pay an employee, or they're free employees?
I don't know. Maybe.
But she already sent a PTO request. I thought that was a little early in the tenure to have a day off. But let's not ever. We'll let it go. We were very excited about her doing that and really kind of taking us in a different direction. So and as a reminder, we are on all the platforms: YouTube, from a video standpoint, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Mrs. Fun is going to help us with pushing out things for that to grow not only the podcast, but also importantly the radio show audience. We're excited about that. And then the podcast platforms, we are on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, the big ones. And so like and subscribe and share, please. Anybody that's listening, and obviously listen to us live too. 10 p.m. on Saturdays.
Interaction. Yeah, the social media is meant to be interactive. So please, enter answer the poll questions. Talk to us. Let us know that you're listening.
And just one final thing. As I said last week, very happy with the radio audience giving us an opportunity from their listening that we're on 3 p.m. on Sundays as well. So we'll continue to work hard at this. So thank you.
It's also National Cereal Day, which it's interesting. I'm a big cereal eater. I love cereal, and I went to look to see what are the best selling cereals these days? Because back in our day when we were growing up, I would eat all the sugary ones, like Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops were big ones, Frosted Flakes. I liked all those, but they're not really good for you. But the top 10 cereals that are sold today are pretty much all healthy cereals.
Well, it should be at this point, but I'm reading a book about Marjorie Merriweather Post. Right. And Merriweather Post, much if those in Maryland, Merriweather Post Pavilion, right? That's the outdoor auditorium or arena, whatever you want to call it. But it's Post cereal, right? That was the original. That was her dad invented Post cereal, who had gone to Kellogg, who was the other big cereal company. He was sort of a holistic, eat better sort of guy, and he not only had a sanatorium, right? We talked about this before on the podcast, where he had developed food to feed to people that were out of their minds. But then he figured there was a consumer aspect to it. And so he started that, but Post started with grape nuts.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where they made all their money. And then they developed it into general foods. But more important part about all of that is cereal, until Post and Kellogg came along, was never, ever invented. and breakfast wasn't a big deal. They basically invented breakfast, which
was great. It was Grape Nuts. It wasn't cornflakes.
No, it was great. Cornflakes was Kellogg. Grape Nuts was Post.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and Post, and just to do it to modern times, she was the one that built Mar-a-Lago, right? Trump's place, which I found out, which I didn't know it means from the sea to the lake. It's Lake Worth to the ocean. So that's the thing she built as her winter home. That's what she built. So it's interesting.
The police went to Lucky's house because he massacred a box of Cheerios, and then he killed some Raisin Bran. He was arrested for being a serial killer.
I am a big Raisin Bran eater, but
I did every day for my entire adult life. I had Raisin Bran every day until about a year ago.
Yeah.
What, Raisin Bran?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Great cereal. But it's interesting. Cheerios still the number one overall cereal brand, $1.2 billion in sales. I mean, like, how is it that cereal has sustained?
Because a lot of it is babies, right? It's one of the first foods you give your kid, right? You give them a thing of Cheerios. We did. You put it on the where they're eating, and they would just pick at it. I got to imagine that's a big part of Cheerios.
Yeah,
is to do that.
Yeah. The other big thing is the Alexander Graham Bell. I think we talked about this like last week about him, but the patent for the telephone was on March 7th. And again, like you start to think about like how important the telephone is and how it's evolved. But then like all the other great inventions of all time, you know, like, I don't know, like, what do you think? Give me some of your like best inventions of all time, greatest.
Well, you got to think of the big ones, right? You got to think of radio, right? Phone. Yeah. You got to think of TV. You got to think of flight. You've got to put the computer in there at some point, however you want to call it that. And maybe ship, you could talk about rail, you could talk about ship, whatever the travel oriented things. Those have got to be the big ones. What else is there?
Well, some of the basic
ones. Is the assembly line an invention?
Probably. That was Henry Ford, right?
Yeah.
He came up with that. Yeah, I would say that's probably a pretty important one. What were you going to say, Luck?
I was going to say like the basic ones, like the wheel, the plow, those kinds of things that we sort of take for granted. That like, but if we didn't invent the wheel, we wouldn't have a lot of these other things we just ticked off. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. So, but if you think of modern, let's call it 20th century, there's kind of the big ones that really shape the way we live in a modern sense. Right. And I think that's really important. So, I don't know. It's cool to think about, and you couldn't do without one of them, I wouldn't think.
That's right. Okay. Here's a question. If there was one thing today that when you walked in the room, everybody would say that guy is responsible for this invention, what would it be? What would you want to be known for? I know what I would say, but
you go first, because I've got a thought. I want to know where you're going to go on this one. Then.
Okay, I would like to walk into the room and somebody say that's the guy who invented beer.
That was my choice, and I want
to be that guy.
That's sort of why I asked.
That's my choice.
I didn't know beer. I would like to be the guy that would be known for the leisure suit.
The white pants?
The white pants. He invented white pants.
And every time somebody wears white pants, you get a royalty?
Yeah, that's right. The problem, my royalties would only come between Memorial Day and Labor Day. It would be it'd be tough for me. So like...
Mr. Fun, I would think you would be the kind of thing that you would be cool for you to be known for is like you invented the flushing toilet. That's the guy that when I go number 2 gets rid of it. You know,
I was thinking donuts.
I was going to say Oreos
or Slim Jims.
Slim Jims.
I would like to have been the guy who invented the Slim Jim, the meat stick.
The meat stick.
That's what I would call it, Mr. Fun's meat sticks.
You wouldn't want to be known for like the guy who invented the printing press or paper. Like there's the guy who invented paper.
Or maybe the bad dad joke.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know when
that's the guy.
You know when the joke becomes a dad joke? It's apparent.
Very good.
Or Biff, I thought you would be the guy who would be like, there's a guy who invented radio.
Yeah, that could be. I'd like to be that guy.
Yeah, then we would be like, our affinity with our show, like.
Yeah. They would, instead of being a podcast, would be a Biff cast. That's what we would be. That's what we would have.
That's good. And then the other cool thing, anniversary for today, 1985. We talked about it last week in our preview. Is the song "We Are the World," written by Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie, was released on this day in 1985.
All right,
which is pretty cool.
Here we're gonna sing some. Ready? We are the world.
We are the children.
What's happening?
We are the ones who make a
better day. So let's start giving.
There's a choice we're making.
I like when Cyndi Lauper did that.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like it when
I? Choice we're making.
I think you guys should invent singing lessons. That's what you should probably invent now.
I'd like to be I'm going to be the guy that invented the mute button.
The thing is, okay, I mean, great song. Like, we need a rallying song like that? Like, when's the last time we had a rallying song like that?
So I have a funny story about We Are the World, the song. So I went to, that's a long time ago. So that was my first time I ever drove to Florida for spring break. So I go down with it. I'm a pledge in the fraternity. And there's 4 of us in a car. And I said, I'd take the overnight shift from DC down to wherever. Like, I don't sleep in a car. So I had a Sony Walkman, right? So this is great. I've got music in my ears. I'll just drive down the road. My Walkman breaks just north of Richmond, Virginia. And I had 6 more hours to drive. It's in the middle of the night. And We Are the World was the #1 song on the radio at that time. I must have heard it 25 times overnight because I was getting a station out of New Orleans. I was getting a station out of Chicago because it was triangulating of the AM radio stations. I hate that song. I mean, I hate it as much as any song as I've ever heard, is We Are the World.
I thought you were going to say about when the song came in, you're a good name dropper and, you've been a pretty whirly dude. You're like, yeah, the time they asked me to be the backup singer in We Are the World, couldn't see me in the video, but I was there.
I was there. I was moving the cables. It was the AV club.
What was it all about? What was it all about?
It was Famine.
Famine.
Right? And then they ended up doing Live Aid shortly thereafter, right? With Bob Geldof organized it. That's when Phil Collins flew back. He played in London, Wembley, and then he went to Philadelphia. He flew to Concord. So he played both ends of the show. And famously, the movie, I just saw Bohemian Rhapsody the other day, right? White jeans, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Although they're not white in the movie. Probably the most famous live show or set that's been done was at Live Aid in Wembley Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great 20-minute segment on that. So very, very, very cool. So
yeah. Some other before I get into a couple topics, some other big Ocean City news. Just so you know, the city council approved the car show and the St. Patrick's Parade are allowed to go on. They actually approved to give these guys permits every year for these events.
Yeah.
So St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is something I think I'm going to come down and sort of watch. I know Jim M is going to be, he has some kind of official role serving beer for the in the parade, but on March 14th from 11 to 4. Which is cool. And then I also this week, Ocean City signed a 3-year contract for the air show to keep coming back.
Awesome.
Can you imagine if the air show didn't come back?
They moved the dates though on that. I think it's later in the year now. For some reason, it used to be in the early part of the summer. So that's great. It's a great air show. I mean,
I was going to reach out to Jim M because the rumor was he was looking for help at the bar. We could wear our Laugh Smartly stuff and hang out at the bar. Meet our fans.
Absolutely. We should do that for sure. So good.
All right. So I saw this topic and this one really got me. So, all the sensitivity about like air travel these days, all the security and there's all these formalities and process to be able to fly these days. There was a big controversy in Tampa this week. They came out in I think they had like a press release or on social media or something like that. But they basically came out and said, you're not allowed to wear like leisure clothing and like pajamas kind of clothes when you're flying. And they came out and people got like sort of pissed because like a lot of people want to wear like comfortable clothes when they're going on long flights. And again, talk about the seriousness of flying and that kind of thing. Tampa Airport came back like I guess 4 or 6 hours later on social media and said, "Oh no, we were only joking. We were only just trying to be funny." But I'm like, what are they doing?
Well, I think Well, for anybody that's flown recently, and we all have at some level over the last month or two, I mean, the decorum has gone down. I don't want to be the old guy talking about it, but what people wear is sometimes ridiculous. I mean, and they're talking about wearing those like baggy pajama bottoms, right? I think that's a lot of what they're talking about. Look, I guess if they didn't have a pattern, some people might think they were sweatpants. You know, if it didn't have some ridiculous pattern, that you knew they were pajamas. But it is strange what people wear to the airport. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, do you remember early in the year, I think that the leader of the TSA, Sean Duffy, was trying to get people to go back to wearing more formal clothes. Like, who wants to wear a suit on an airline, on an air flight?
What do you wear, Biff? Like a one-piece jumpsuit? What do you wear?
Again, I like to wear a cravat, right? I like a cravat, the thing around my neck. I get,
a man's scarf.
A man's scarf. I like to wear sport coat's probably a bit much, but I like something. I like a coat type
I like that I don't know what a cravat is. I like that I don't know what that is.
You know what a cravat is.
Am I even saying it right?
A cravat. Well, you said cravat. No,
you may even have one on now, Biff, for those of you, anybody's watching.
I got multiple layers on here. But in all seriousness, I think that people, and honestly, it's people wearing in pajama bottoms that we were talking about. The people that are wearing like really shorts and a midriff top and stuff like that. You're like, what are you? I don't get it. I just don't. I understand being comfortable, but you're like, there's a point where it's just not. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, they're now making planes out of paper. The flight's so smooth you would think it was stationary.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Good one.
Thank goodness we gave you. Thank goodness we gave you a heads up on the plane theme. So, anyways, so I like keeping up with the theme. So Lucky last week talked about the cost of buying a one-way ticket from Munich back to DC. I read today that somebody on February 25th, they've called a serial stowaway, a person that's done it more than once. This woman, Svetlana Dali, last year stowed away from JFK to Milan. So she got onto an international flight, made it all the way to Milan, Italy, without getting caught, right? She got caught. She did it again this year. She just flew from Newark to Milan and made it all the way there. I just, having flown international recently, I don't know how you get on an airplane and sneak through all that security. And then, maybe she had a different ticket and then she just snuck onto it like you're going to a different movie theater when you have a different ticket. But there's still, when you get onto through the gate with the flight attendants who are usually checking you in, I don't know how you do it.
They know her name and everything. Yeah. They know her name. Is this a stunt to prove she can do it?
I don't know. She's done it twice now. So gotten on commercial flights.
It's odd that she gets on, like you said. If she gets on, how do they know that how do they figure it out? You know what I mean? That's and
what are the chances? And a lot of flights are overbooked. What if she gets on and there's no seat?
Yeah.
What is she? I don't know. I find it, maybe if I had the chutzpah to do it, but anyways, I find that to be an excellent.
I learned a valuable lesson. Don't ever, if you have a friend named Jack, don't ever scream a greeting to him when you're on a plane.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack. Don't do that.
I'm to bring back the host draft segment. I know we haven't done this in a couple of weeks, but I thought it would be cool to do it this week. All right. And this week
But the draft is what have we done recently? The different drafts.
We've done the how to survive a snowstorm, what 4 products you would have.
Super Bowl
we would
food.
say who could last the longest in a snowstorm.
Right.
We've done best Thanksgiving meals.
Yeah.
Which was a pretty good segment.
Okay.
So this one, because we are so manly, okay, this draft, we're going to take turns picking manly traits we wish we had. And we're going to evaluate who is the most manly with their 4 manly traits.
Okay.
Okay. And Biff, you get to go first. I'm going to go second. And Mr. Fun, you get the 3rd and 4th picks. Okay. All right. So Biff, you're up with your manly trait.
I'm not sure how I describe this because I've never been in one. I have never been in a fight.
Oh, you like to be a good fighter.
I have never been in a fight.
All right.
And maybe that's not just to throw the punch, but to take the punch.
Right.
Okay.
That's not surprising at all.
Okay. So Biff wants to be a good fighter. All right. That's a good one.
Okay.
All right. I want to be be able to fix anything. I want to have like awesome mechanical skills. So when everybody says, hey, can you help me fix this? I know how to do it. Okay, Mr. Fun, you get to do two things: skills and or features.
I know. I want to have superior strength.
Okay.
Physically, I want to be stronger. And I also would like to have extreme confidence.
Wow. Jeez.
Are those too serious?
Well, that one was it's a bit philosophical, but that's okay.
I decided I was no longer going to do anything that made me feel fat. So I'm no longer going to look in mirrors or look at pictures of myself.
All right.
I'm going to go. All right. My next one is a physical feature, and I'm going with be able to grow facial hair in any kind of dimension: mustache, beard, sideburns, goatees, that kind of thing. I can't do it now, but I would like to be able to do that.
I will take 6-pack abs.
6-pack abs.
Yeah, I can take that, right?
Abs.
That's pretty good.
And then be able to fight.
All right. Do I get to go again?
Yeah, you get to go again.
I'd like to have when you walk into a room, you want the gravitas that everybody knows that you control the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I got that. I got that already.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. So we'll call that charisma.
You have the gravity, Mr. Fun. I got that.
Okay. I'm going to say, with my third pick, the best rap. Like, I can rap with the ladies.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Fun, you get the last two picks.
Now I think I feel like I got to be funny here. So I have great strength and confidence.
Yeah.
I want to be able to drink more than anybody I know, and I want to be able to eat the spiciest foods of anybody I know.
All right.
That is manly.
For my last pick, I am going to go. I like the ones with the skills. So I'm going to be like the best like grill master, be able to cook food, smoke food, work the grill. So
like a woman. You want to be able to cook.
No. You don't see the woman working the Traeger and the smoker. The guys are the ones that do that. So I don't have that skill, so I'd like to have it. All right, Biff, you get your last pick.
All right, I am going to be the best sit around guitar playing singing guy. Everybody wants to hear. Everybody wants to be like
so manly.
They'd be like, look at that guy. They would swoon. People would swoon.
I know a lot of like non-manly guitar players. So
I'm going to be the one that they swoon over. I'm going to be Bradley Cooper in Star is Born. That type of guy.
If they don't like your guitar playing, you're going to kick their ass because you're a good fighter.
Yes, that's right.
Are you going to wear a carafe or whatever the thing's called?
All right, just to summarize. and contact at laughsmartly.com. Who's the most manly of the three of us? Biff, he's a good fighter. He's got 6-pack abs, charisma, and he's a singer, guitar player.
That's good.
No, that doesn't give it justice. I'm Bradley Cooper. I'm Bradley Cooper in
do you take your
Star
shirt off to show your abs while you're playing?
I would proudly.
Right.
Okay. My manly traits are I can fix anything, mechanical skills. I got an awesome beard. I can grow any kind of facial hair. I got the best lady rap, and I can make the best food on the grill.
Nice.
Okay.
That's good.
Etc. Mr. Fun is strong, confident. He can drink a lot, and he can eat the spiciest food. Okay.
There are times when Mr. Fun has won these contests. There are times where he's not going to win the contest.
You know what? Don't. We got to see what the audience likes.
I saw.
Why didn't you say the best comedian in the world?
Because I was thinking manly. Manly is eating the spiciest foods you can imagine. While tears are running down your eyes, I'm just like, put some more hot sauce on that.
That's funny.
All right. So contact at laughsmartly.com. We'll post the results out, and we'll talk about the results next week. But I saw this interesting article talking about manly and like what basically, again, what attracts women. So evolution of man and Neanderthals and that kind of thing. So think of caveman.
Yeah.
But when humans were starting to evolve into what we know as humans, Homo sapiens, what we look like today, Neanderthals did still exist.
Right.
And there's a study that just came out last week in some science journal that basically said that women who were developed into the Homo sapien women that we know today were more attracted to the Neanderthal looking dudes than they did their own Homo sapien evolved guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that sort of makes sense. Because like the ladies, they like that, scruffy rumble, like to be dragged by their hair every now and again kind of guy,
You know where the early Neanderthals met their women? When they were out clubbing.
Oh, that's very good. So when we were going over the discussion about starting this, so it reminded me there's a Joe Jackson song. You remember Joe Jackson, 80s performer? Not everybody knows him, but he's got some good songs out there. But he had a song, "Is She Really Going Out With Him?" The very first line in the song, which kind of plays it, is "Pretty woman out walking with gorillas down my street." So that's talking about the Neanderthal thing. And there is some form of truth to what the research is saying. Now, do we think Neanderthals mean they're, besides being scruffy, are they taller? Are they big? I mean, because I saw some of that research recently that said that same thing.
Well, I think talk about like Neanderthals. As Homo sapiens evolved, right. They evolved from standing straight up. What they used to be was like all hunched over and
right.
not standing, so that kind of development. But women seem to like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of songs, I heard a comedian the other day talking about how he's like, what's going on with that Bruce Springsteen song where he's like, is it Hey little
girl, is your daddy home? Is he going? That's the song. I know what
song.
Does
he know you're staying all alone? That's a creepy song.
It is a creepy song. I saw a comedian talking about that, like how creepy that set of lyrics is. I'm on fire. It's on fire. I think that's the name. I'm on fire. I think it's
I'm
song.
On fire. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a creepy lyric. For sure.
Yeah.
So,
they asked the caveman. He showed up. He came home to the cave with a bear next to him, and they said, "What's that all about?" And he said, and he didn't answer right away. He said, "Bear with me, bear with me,
bear with me." Nice,
because he was a caveman.
Speaking of bear, I read this, which was there's a nudist camp in Florida for sale. Not the reason I'm down here, by the way. So for $2.5 million, you can buy a nudist camp. And mind you, you say, well, what does it come with? Well, it comes with 12 motorhomes. Like, what kind of nudist camp actually comes with the protection so don't have to be nude?
Which of the motorhomes did you like of the 12?
Yeah.
When you toured?
Right. The tour. It's like, well, I'm like, this one's too big, this one's too little. But would you buy a nudist camp? Well, no, let's go backwards. Would you ever go to a nudist beach?
100%, I would.
You would?
Yeah.
Mr. Fun?
I hear there's no good-looking people there. Like, I would go.
Well, that's why.
Like, I wouldn't be intimidated or anything.
Really?
I went with another family. So my 3 kids, my son and 2 daughters, and the other family had 2 sons that were my son's age, basically. We went to Aruba, and we went to a beach, and smoking hot girls were didn't have their tops on.
Right.
The boys were in heaven.
Right.
Like the dads and I, we kept our heads down the whole time. But
what did you do?
I just like sort of pretend like I wasn't looking at him, but I was looking at him.
He bought new sunglasses.
Yeah.
He was looking through that.
But it was funny because the girls went out in the water like totally topless, like straight up. And the boys went out and they were like throwing the ball around and they would miss it. They would have to go over to the girls because to get their ball.
We were in me and Mrs. Biff were in Barcelona on a work trip, and we had an afternoon off, so we went down to the beach. It's on the Mediterranean, and there's a lot of topless women there. But then there was also these dudes that would run down the beach. They were completely naked. They were just running, like they were going out for a jog. You're like, really? You need to be doing that? Is just just running and letting it flop around there? Wow. Would you ever do that? Would you ever do that?
Go jogging nude?
Yeah.
No.
My wife asked me if I was ready to go to a nudist beach, and I was like, I was born ready.
Definitely. But I think you're more apt to see a good-looking woman, and not babies. I'm sure you're not going to see naked babies at the nudist beach. But you know, like the dudes, like who wants to see a naked dude? The girls don't even want to see naked dudes.
All right. You're going to go off on a complete segue because this did happen in Bethany Beach. So there's a toddler, 2-3 years old. Family's there. They're on the beach. They just let the kid drop trout and piss on the beach.
Oh, that's not good.
Have you ever seen that? We have seen that. That is, I mean, I'm not sure, you know, is it just, I'm not sure it's illegal, but I'm not sure it's what you should allow your kid to do, obviously, when there's other people around.
Yeah, how many beers had the kid drank? That's because there's no reason for that.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he had a 6-pack or more, he shouldn't be pissing on the beach.
So we were at the beach in outside of Sarasota last week, and the water's cold. As I found out, the water's 61 degrees, and we're on the beach for a while, and a beautiful day out. And the only reason any man ever walked into the beach, you had to figure, or into the water, was to go pee. I mean, why else would you do it?
Yeah.
And have you ever intentionally done that? Just to kind of like, I got to go in the ocean.
Is there a protocol? Is that frowned upon?
Well, I'm not sure it's frowned upon, but I did hear this: long distance swimmers in a pool. You know, let's call it a 1,500 meter. You know, like one of those long distance swimming, and they're training, and they're in there for hours in some respects. I heard this the other day that many of them pee while they're in the pool.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't seem right, though.
Why?
I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but, you know, shouldn't they be allowed to, they should get out and they should go to the restroom. But you're going to have, you know, a bunch of, let's call it, Olympians peeing in the pool.
They're long distance swimmers.
Right.
And they're timed. They can't call timeout.
No, but this is also during training.
Oh,
so I'm not suggesting, so they're like, they got to learn to what? Pee in the pool or hold it in.
Just maybe it's good for their aerodynamic bodies to get rid of some of their weight. Maybe they're.
What about like marathon runners? How do they go to the bathroom? Because they're running for like 3 hours. They don't have to, and they're drinking some stuff along the way. I know their body can.
I don't know. They do have, porta potties on the sides of races.
I mean, when I do marathons, I never have to pee during them. I always make it to the end.
Is that Marathon Deli? What are we doing? I'm sorry. That's a restaurant in College Park for those that don't remember.
We have had a major issue in my neighborhood. We have a neighborhood pool. The last like 3 summers.
Yeah.
There's always a brownout.
Yeah.
Like somebody is going number 2 in the pool and it gets shut down for like 2 days.
Right.
And the whole it happens so frequently that the neighborhood, there's a culprit that's doing it.
Now, was that when we were younger, did we have the equivalent of, what are those diapers that kids wear now? It's
pull-ups?
like the pull-ups. Did we have that equivalent of pull-ups? Like, we didn't go into the big pool. I don't remember doing that. Now it seems like there's a lot more, it feels like there's a lot more little kids in the, pool, and they're wearing pull-ups. That's the problem, right? It's one's escaping.
Well, this happened to be an adult with somebody with special needs, and but their caregivers were letting them do it.
Right.
Wait a minute. Is it?
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I mean, it's sad to hear that. I mean, that's not intended.
I've probably swam in many pools that people have peed and pooped in. I probably have.
Sure. We all have.
Yeah, they blow the whistle, and when we were kids, and they didn't tell us what was going on.
Right.
And then suddenly the pool was closed for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Going back to this nudist camp thing. If I if I came to you guys and said, "Hey, guess what? I bought a property in Florida. I'd love for you guys to come down and like spend some time with it." And I told you it was a nudist camp. Would you come and visit?
Yeah, I would live there.
Yes, you would live there.
But I'm like, the rules are the rules.
Right. You got to be nude. I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't commit to going to a nudist camp myself. I will say that. I mean, maybe if I have my 6-pack abs.
Yeah, but you wouldn't come and visit me just because you got to strip down.
Definitely. No, I would come and visit you. I'd wear a big tube around me, like an inner tube, right? Just to do that. So,
I would go broke trying to sell T-shirts that said "I'm a nudist" because no one will buy them.
Another brilliant idea down the drain. All right, would you rather? So, would you rather? Last week we had some feedback on it, and my question wasn't very well formed, which is, would you rather live on Assateague Island by yourself for a year, or be homeless with two friends in Ocean City, Maryland, for a year? The Assateague Island one, I should have been clear on, was one, you had no communication with the outside world. Yes, you could be in a house, just so we're clear on it. And the Ocean City one is pretty self-explanatory. Anyways, a lot of people chose rather be homeless. I think that's because of the way the question was framed. So anyways, that's on me for not asking it well. This week, though, on Would You Rather go 1 year without your cell phone or 1 year without your car? Ooh. What would you choose?
I would, I guess you need your cell phone to call Uber, right?
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. But if you have your car and no cell phone, you can't, it's hard for you to communicate with, how are you going to communicate with your friends?
Phones.
I don't have a phone in my house.
You could get a landline though, right?
Oh, okay.
So play that out, but that's fair. Yeah. What about you, Mr. Fun?
I'd go without a car. I'd depend on you guys to drive me all around.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
I think to me, it's my gut is to go without the phone. That's my gut. But I think it depends where you are in your life. If you're working, to go without your car could be difficult unless you live in a city. And then you can go, a lot of people in New York City don't have a car.
Yeah.
So they can make an easy decision and take the phone. I think it's where you are, right?
I don't know. Nowadays, your whole work life depends on your phone, it seems, too.
Right. Yeah, but So the other part of it, which you've talked about chucking yours into the ocean, I know you say that half jokingly, but there is part of you that would have that liberation of the phone.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know.
I'll put a spin on this. Which is your least favorite? Having to charge your cell phone or get gas in your car?
What's my least favorite? Charge.
Those are two things I don't like doing. I don't like
getting gas just because it's sort of a dirty. Part of the process is just sort of dirty, whatever it might be, right? Whether it's the gas station you've stopped at, you've obviously picking up the nozzle that somebody else has picked up. There's a whole litany of things, and I think so. And the cell phone you control for the most part where you get that charge.
Yeah.
Mr. Fun, you don't have a litany of charger setups in all the different places, like at your computer and your car.
I was thinking, what's really stressful for me? Watching my phone run out of charge. That's what I should have said. Or watching me low on gas. I hate both of those. There are two things in my life that are so disproportionate. They should not be as upsetting as they are to me. Both of those are so upsetting to me.
So
how many times in your life have you ran out of gas versus how many times has your phone run out of juice?
I had a car that had a recall because this is so weird. The gas gauge was off. And so I ran out 3 times in a row and then almost coincidentally got this thing that said your car's been recalled. So it was awful running out of gas. It's the worst.
I had it happen recently. So I had this old BMW. And it had when I bought it, they said the fuel gauge really doesn't work. The thing that measures it was off when you got to below a quarter tank. But in my head, I always tried to calculate how many miles it would go. Anyways, and then on top of that, I had a fuel pump go, kind of around the same time. I go to a Pat Benatar concert this summer with Mrs. Biff, and we're driving back, and I'm driving down this road in Southern Delaware, and my car just shuts down. I'm like, damn, the fuel pump. It's just gone again. I just had the fuel pump done. I'm like, oh, so I don't have this car working. I call Kevin P to pick me up. Kevin P, Shorewatch Management, who's been on the show before, comes, picks me up. I get the car towed the next day to the mechanic. Come to find out that I ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Such an
That's
idiot.
That's freaking embarrassing to run out of gas.
Yes, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
But it happened.
You know what? I would like to not have a cell phone, but I'm so reliant on it. Like I use it to do all my research for the show, like things I want to talk about. And if I didn't have that, I don't know. I probably would come up to the show and we wouldn't really have too much to laugh smartly about.
All right. So you both would get rid of your cars.
Yeah.
So Mr. Fun, you're in sales though. Yeah. How's that going to work?
So, you know what? I hate to say it, but I don't like it personally, but most of what I do is over the phone or remotely. Okay. The days of me making sales calls and, it's just not the same. It's not the same. Yeah.
So have either of you been to a Buc-ee's yet? You're aware of the legend of Buc-ee's gas station?
No, I've heard the legend.
Buc-ee's is out of Texas, I think, originally. So there's a few on I-95. I think the first one that came across my radar was in Georgia. It's got to have without exaggeration, 100 gas pumps, right? It's huge. It's the biggest convenience store / gas station you've ever been to in your life. I mean, they've got a beef jerky counter. They've got a barbecue brisket counter. They've got everything you can do.
Where are these paradises near them?
Well, there's a couple in North Florida. There's one, as I said, in Georgia, and we stopped at one on the way down to Florida. It was great. I mean, I had been to one in Texas previously. I didn't remember as big as this one. The service is unbelievable. I mean,
what did you get? Like, what did you buy?
A barbecue brisket for lunch. Like
just a sandwich.
Yeah, 2 sandwiches, some potato chips, right? And we were I'm the 10 that when I drive, I like to keep moving, so it wasn't going to sit there a long time and order things. But there had to be 1,000 people in the place too, and the exit ramp is packed. Right, coming off the highway. If you get a chance to go to one, you got to go to one.
I'm ready to go now.
Incredible.
I'm ready to get in the car and go now.
There's the most northern one is in Virginia now.
Where?
So, yeah,
Mr. Fun, if we gave up our cars, we would not be able to experience Buc-ee's.
Biff can drive us. Biff can drive us to Buc-ee's.
Okay. That's right. So good. Mr. Fun.
We're there?
We are there. Like going to Buc-ee's, we are going to be there sooner than you know.
There's an oldie but goodie. First time on the radio for this joke. So there's these 2 old people, and they're getting old, and they're having problems just communicating in general, but they, especially about revolving around when they want to get a little frisky. So the man says, listen, I got this great idea. When I want to have sex, with you, I'm going to reach out and grab your boob and squeeze it twice. And if you don't want to have sex with me, that's okay. But you need to just grab my wiener and pull it 375 times.
That's good. That's good.
That's pretty good.
That's very good. That's very good, Mr.
I remember that one from 3 years ago. That's a great joke.
So Lucky, if they want to get in touch with us and talk about these jokes, how do they get a hold of us?
Well, of course, if you want to interact with us, interact with our social media now that Mrs. Fun is posting things, excerpts, things. So look for us on all of our social media platforms, but feedback at laughsmartly.com. We're getting a lot of emails and questions and comments and, hey, talk about this and opinions on what we're having to talk about. But so please keep that coming.
Perfect. And again, thanks for listening to us. If you're listening to us live on WGMD's 98.5, the Talk of Delmarva, as we said, 10 p.m. on Saturday if you're listening to us, or 3 p.m. on Sunday for that matter. So thank you. And also just, watch us on YouTube. Again, to Lucky's point, we podcast platforms, anywhere you want to find us, I know you can find us. So guys, great to see you. Everybody out there, thanks for listening to us. And until we do it again next week, let me just say thank you and goodbye.
Green river laid out by my front door, and I'm miles and miles from the nearest store. Pot full of crabs looking fat and sweet, kettle of oysters at my feet, living on Chesapeake time. Take it slow, take it easy, both good friends of mine. Brother, I'm just starting to unwind, living on Chesapeake time. and a plain old tea. Haven't had a shave in a day or 3. The breeze is blowing, might take a sail, just to have a few more tales to tell. Living on Chesapeake time. Take it slow, take it easy, both good friends of mine. Brother, I'm just starting to unwind. Living on Chesapeake time. Now somewhere in the back of my mind, know that I must start to make a plan. But if I somehow never find the time, know that we will be just fine. Know that she will understand. Couple of friends come floating by my dock. By morning my head's a gonna rock. Sleeping late, now I will be forgiven. When you live in the land of pleasant living. Living on Chesapeake time. Take it slow, take it easy, both good friends of mine. Brother, I'm just starting to unwind. Living on